Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. Diogo Dalot is attracting interest from the big clubs, and Bryan Mbeumo has sent a cracking message ahead of Bournemouth. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. Giant clubs circle Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot's tenure as a Manchester United player appears to be drawing to a close, with recent developments raising serious questions about the defender's long-term future at Old Trafford. Having arrived from FC Porto back in 2018, Dalot is, remarkably, now the second longest-serving player at the club, only just behind Luke Shaw. Moreover, the Portuguese international's versatility, his capability as a fullback on either the right or left flank, has consistently been his standout asset at United. Indeed, this adaptability has ensured he has played a considerable role under every single United gaffer he has worked with since his arrival. Nevertheless, whilst his graft and dedication have often been commended, Dalot has been hampered by a tendency towards inconsistency. Under Ruben Amorim, this shortcoming has become more pronounced, with the United head coach even publicly criticizing him for his fluctuating performances. As United gear up to push ahead with their rebuild next year, placing an emphasis on bolstering both the midfield and the wing-back positions, it is becoming increasingly evident that some players may have to be offloaded. Reports indicate that Real Madrid are keen on a deal for the Manchester United defender in 2026, though the Spanish behemoths are not the only side sniffing around. Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich are also said to be admirers of the 26-year-old's flexible skill set and would be delighted to snap him up. Despite Dalot's existing contract running until 2028, this latest news significantly clouds his long-term prospects with the Reds. Bryan Mbeumo sends shocking message ahead of Bournemouth clash. Manchester United are gearing up for their Premier League return as they host AFC Bournemouth in the 16th match week of the 2025-2026 season. This crucial fixture is scheduled for Monday evening, with 3 points being an absolute necessity for the home side. Currently, United sit in 7th place in the temporary standings, having dropped a spot after their fierce rivals, Liverpool, secured a win against Brighton and Hove Albion. Therefore, a victory over Bournemouth is vital for United to close the points gap and keep their top-of-the-table aspirations alive. On the other hand, the visiting Bournemouth team arrived at Old Trafford with high hopes. Occupying 14th position, they are clearly aiming for a positive result, at the very least to take a valuable point home from the stronghold of one of England's biggest clubs. However, the main focus leading up to this match is on one of Manchester United's stars, Bryan Mbeumo. The game against Bournemouth will be Mbeumo's final appearance for the Red Devils before he embarks on his international duty. The Cameroonian winger is set to leave the squad to answer his national call-up. He will be representing his country in Africa's biggest tournament, the Africa Cup of Nations, meaning he will miss United's packed Premier League Boxing Day schedule. He is only expected to return after the competition concludes, potentially sooner if Cameroon's campaign is cut short. Mbeumo is currently the club's top goal scorer in the Premier League, boasting an impressive haul of 6 goals and 1 assist. He has featured in 15 matches for United, 13 of which he played for the full 90 minutes, demonstrating his absolutely vital role in the team. His consistent performance has established Mbeumo as one of Manchester United's best signings this season, making a significant and immediate impact on the team's attack. His departure for national duty is confirmed to be a massive loss for Ruben Amorim's squad. Ahead of this pivotal match, Bryan Mbeumo gave a resolute response when asked about his prospects of scoring again against Bournemouth. The Cameroonian winger asserted that he will give his absolute best on the pitch, driven by the spirit of playing in front of the home supporters. For him, scoring a goal or providing an assist is an absolute necessity for the club, and he is determined to deliver the performance the Red Devils need. Mbeumo also admitted how tough it is to leave the club amidst a congested schedule, particularly as he will miss the highly anticipated Boxing Day fixtures, yet he insisted that representing his country in a major competition like AFCON is another matter that must also be prioritized and focused upon. Mbeumo's absence comes at a highly inconvenient time for Manchester United. Following the Bournemouth match, they will be immediately faced with a demanding sequence of fixtures, including clashes against other top-of-the-table sides over the Christmas and New Year period. Ruben Amorim's squad must now find a quick fix to fill the void left by their top scorer. Expectations will fall upon players such as Mason Mount to step into that position, who has already netted 3 goals from his 12 Premier League appearances. Beyond the challenges in the attacking third, Mbeumo's absence will also severely test the manager's tactical depth. Amorim will likely be forced to alter his formation or field players in less familiar roles. Dropping points during this period could jeopardize United's ambition to finish in the Champions League places. Therefore, Mbeumo's final appearance against Bournemouth is not only crucial for securing 3 points but also for setting the momentum for the team as they enter the toughest period in the Premier League calendar without one of their key players. The long-term success of Manchester United's season may well hinge on how effectively manager Ruben Amorim can manage this period of transition. Speaking in his pre-match press conference, Amorim was quick to praise Mbeumo's dedication but stressed that this situation presents an opportunity for other squad members to step up and prove their worth on the big stage. Roma keen to seal the deal for Joshua Zirkzee. Roma reportedly remain adamant in their pursuit of the Dutch forward, Joshua Zirkzee, with a keen desire to secure his services during the upcoming January transfer window. However, the completion of this high-profile deal hinges critically on the conditions ultimately set forth by his current employers, Manchester United. This impending transfer saga adds a layer of intrigue to the mid-season movements of two of Europe's most prominent clubs. The Netherlands international has found himself increasingly relegated to a peripheral role at Old Trafford this season. This is largely due to the influx of new attacking talent, specifically the arrivals of Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, and, perhaps most consequentially, the burgeoning form of Benjamin Sesko. Zirkzee's opportunities have become limited, signaling a potential shift in the attacking hierarchy under manager Ruben Amorim. Indeed, the 24-year-old was only afforded a brief 3-match spell in the starting 11 following an injury setback to Sesko, before subsequently being dropped once more for the match against Wolverhampton Wanderers. This lack of guaranteed playing time has inevitably cast a shadow of uncertainty over the striker's long-term prospects at Carrington, particularly amid the ever-growing and persistent interest emanating from the Italian club. Roma have, in recent weeks, decisively emerged as the clear frontrunners in the race to acquire the former Bologna star's signature. The club from the Italian capital is acutely aware of the need to bolster its attacking options, given that their current forwards, Evan Ferguson and Artem Duvik, have struggled to consistently find the back of the net and provide the required attacking impetus. This urgent need has positioned Zirkzee as a primary target. Sources indicated earlier this week that active negotiations have commenced between Roma and Manchester United regarding a potential Zirkzee transfer to the Eternal City in the middle of the season. This suggests that the discussions have moved past mere interest and into the practicalities of formulating a formal agreement between the two sporting directors. Despite the highly respected journalist Fabrizio Romano's insistence that the Red Devils were keen to retain both Zirkzee and academy sensation Kobbie Mainoo at the very beginning of January, there could be a window for maneuver later in the month. This potential flexibility is anticipated following the return of both Amad Diallo and Bryan Mbeumo from their commitments at the African Cup of Nations, thereby providing Amorim with alternative attacking depth. Manchester United have reportedly set a definitive asking price of £31 million for the forward. This valuation, crucially, is intended to be sufficient to prevent a capital loss on a player who cost them a substantial £37.5 million just last summer, in 2024. The financial parameters of the deal have thus been clearly established by the Premier League club. For their part, Roma have expressed a willingness to meet this asking price, proposing a deal structured as a loan with an obligation to buy clause to be triggered at the end of the season. However, they insist that this obligation must be conditional, explicitly linked to the club securing a coveted UEFA Champions League qualification spot. Essentially, the Giallorossi are unwilling to financially commit to a permanent deal unless they can guarantee the significant prize money associated with elite European competition. Despite his rather modest scoring statistics during his tenure at Old Trafford, Zirkzee has successfully endeared himself to the Manchester United faithful through his notably generous work rate and his impressive on-the-ball technical skills. Therefore, it remains to be seen whether manager Amorim will ultimately sanction the exit of an attacker who offers alternative and valuable attributes compared to the likes of Cunha and Sesko, adding the final complex consideration to this developing transfer saga. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.